We are now joined by our race-winning driver and owner, Kyle Busch, driver of the number 51 Dollar General Toyota, and crew chief Jerry Baxter. Kyle, you're 2 for 2 in the Camping World Truck Series this season. This is your first win at Michigan in a truck. Talk about battling back from that early speeding penalty to capture the victory today.
Yeah, we're trying something new today with our tack settings, and that just didn't quite work. So busted early, but no big deal. You know, we just lined back up and was able to restart and try to come back through. And that run of the race was actually really hairy for us. We were really loose, super loose getting in the corners, and I was barely hanging on there a few times, you know, but, you know, thankfully these trucks tend to put on a good show. You can kind of draft back up on guys and use the bottom, use the top, kind of work around a little bit. And our truck was really good on the long runs. When things would kind of single file out, we were really good. The Dollar General Tundra was fast and had good feel and good speed on long runs. So, you know, that's what I was kind of hoping for when we pitted there on that last pit stop, that the thing would go green. We had a good lead, but you know, we had some caution, a lot of cautions. I don't think we ran but one complete lap until there. That final restart, we were actually able to at least run 5 or 6 there. So, you know, like I said, we just wanted to kind of get back racing, get back green, and hammer it out. You know, Dylan was strong and Blaney was strong. Those guys were good for short stints, but you know, that's the way the kind of race played out there at the end. And Jerry and these guys, they fixed my truck there at that last pit stop and made it really good for me. So it was good to drive.
Jerry, walk us through your view on the pit box during that final restart and battle at the end.
Well, first off, we were coming in today. We knew we didn't have any single truck speed, and showed in qualifying being back there in 10th.
Why is that, Jerry?
Yeah, I wish I knew. But once the race got going, you know, even after yesterday, I seen we had good speed in traffic. But with the drafting the way it is around here, I was just thankful I had Kyle in the seat. The 33 was really good out there. There was quite a few of them that were pretty good out there. But I was getting a little stressed out. But this time it wasn't because of fuel, so that's a good thing.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. We'll start here with Reed, and then we'll go to Jay.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Kyle, I wasn't really clear on what was happening with the tack when you came into the pit road that time. Were you seeing 2 different sets of lights?
Yeah, essentially that's what we had. We had 2 different sets of lights going on. One set was kind of overpowering. Another set is basically, it's kind of like when we ran, you know, if you ran pit road speed lights from a Bristol versus a Michigan, they're entirely different. And they were kind of bleeding over one another, so we'll have to make sure we get that fixed for next week.
All right, we'll go to Jay.
Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. I understand you have a special guest here this weekend in Logan Fairbanks. Just talk about bringing him to the track and getting a win with him here as a guest. Yeah,
it was really neat to just be able to reach out to him and his dad and invite them to come on out to the Speedway, see if they were wanting to, you know, and lo and behold, they took our invite and they come on out here today, and so far so good. You know, they had a good time here hanging out with Samantha. She toured them around. They did some hauler tours, and they were in our pit box for the whole race and just kind of hung out. So it was nice to be able to win a race and get him in victory lane and you know, show that there are nice people in this world. And that was fun to do and to see, and to have him just kind of laid back and enjoying things for today. And again, we're going to have him with us tomorrow, so you know, he'll get a full day's worth again tomorrow if he wants to. You know, come on early and go through Interstate Batteries Hospitality and just kind of hang out there with some folks and have a nice time, and then, you know, be with us for the start of the race and everything. So you know, glad him and his dad decided to come on out. They're really nice and you know, really cool to hang out with and just talk to and see what their interests are all about. And Logan's not much of a NASCAR fan. We're trying to turn him into one. You know, he says he's watched a few races before but never really paid much attention. So you know, we'll see if I can become his favorite driver or if somebody else will.
Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Chris, ESPN. Do the trucks just punch such a big hole in the air? Is that why you're able to kind of race and dice in them compared to the Cup cars, or is there something else that makes this look so good and the Cup cars seem such a struggle?
Yeah, it's these are just naturally boxy and draggy, and you're trying to manufacture something with a car that you just can't do. You just can't make it happen. You know, if you wanted the same effect, you know, you'd have to stand the noses straight up and down and stand the windshield up probably 40 degrees. You know, it's just a matter of what these trucks are and how they're built. You know, but the truck race still was a little dicey. You know, there were times where, like, there at the end, you know, the leader, myself, you know, you'd go in the corner and you could run your line, and the guy behind you would always run a little left of you, a little below you to stay out of your wake, and he'd be okay doing that. But anytime you go off in the corner as a leader and you just want to be like, watch this, you just turn the wheel left and cut in front of that guy, and he's in your wake, and you know, you gain 3-4 lengths on a guy right then and there. But the thing about the draft is it doesn't take long for them to recover. You know, from messing up the 29 there, I think with 2 to go, the 4, when him and the 4 kind of got back close together, they drafted right back to me. I don't know if it was within a straightaway, but it was definitely within 2 straightaways, you know, when they were back on my bumper. So you're just able to recover so much faster with a truck.
Any additional questions for Kyle or Jerry?
Press box.
We'll go ahead up to the press box.
One question to the crew chief, Mr. Jerry Baxter, Wolfgang Monzer, Rennsport Press Agency from Germany. After the penalty for speeding with Kyle, did it had any effect for your race strategy? Had you to work out a new strategy for the rest of the race?
Yeah, it did have a little bit of effect. We were able to, on the 1 to go lap, come back down pit road, so we essentially ended up with 2 more laps of fuel in the truck than anybody else, not knowing if the race was to have 2 or 3 green-white checkers at the end. So that gave us a little bit of confidence there, and knowing that the draft's so effective here, we pretty much thought we could get back up toward the front. So that's kind of what's changed it up for us.
All right, we'll go.
Emmy Lucas, ABC 12 in Flint. Kyle, I just wanted you to talk. I know you talked about it in Victor and Lean, but can you talk about Eric kind of giving you that push at the end again?
Well, Eric Jones was 3rd, and you know he was running with Blaney there and pushing Blaney to get to my rear bumper. And I actually came over the radio. I was like, "Tell the 4 to either pass the 29 or stop pushing him back to me." You know, so he was doing his job in order to try to get 2nd place, and I think he just come up a little bit short today, but. For a KBM 1-2, but overall it was a good day for them in the points. Jones is a good racer, real smart racer, so today, you know, collecting the points rather than, you know, taking a chance and not coming out of the right end of doing something was certainly the way to go today.
Can you kind of talk about his rise through the ranks and he's under your wing?
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's done anything and everything that's been asked of him, you know, so I think that he's still young. He still has a lot of experience to gain. He's, you know, he's not too far off from reaching the Sprint Cup Series level. But once you do reach that level and you run a couple of years, you know, you definitely tend to become a way better racer. And like me, you know, you can go race Xfinity or truck and look really good, I guess, you know. But Jones is he's come up through the ranks really fast. He's not been in race cars for very many years, but he's done a great job with what he's had. He's been in some decent equipment, some family equipment to start with, and won in that. And then you know, we took him in at KBM, and Toyota, got to thank Toyota a ton for that and their support in helping him further his career through the trucks this year. So we're hoping he can bring home a championship.
Does it give you a little sense of pride knowing that you're kind of the one that discovered him almost?
No, I wouldn't say I take a sense of pride in that. If I did, I'd have an agency and I'd have him as my under my management firm, you know. But that's for the birds. Been there, done that. You know, he's on his own in that respect. But like I said, you know, it's just a matter of him doing the job that he's set out to do, and he's been excelling at that.
All right, we'll finish up here with Reed.
Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. Tomorrow's race, Kyle, having to come from the rear, are you going to have to approach the race much more cautiously at this point?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we were originally anyways, and I had a really good race car, but that first run in final practice, I was running fine. Everything was good, and then, you know, through 1 and 2, car felt good, stuck good, was wide open, and carried it down into turn 3 and 4 and started getting a little free, and when it did, I was like, it's not that big a deal, but it just kept carrying, you know, it never stopped getting sideways, and finally it was just too late to try to save it. So I just wanted to drive through it and not do what I did in the spring and kill it, you know, on the outside wall. And lo and behold, I kill it in the grass. So you know, that was unfortunate. I hate it for my guys. They're still over there right now working on it, you know, for the backup car to get ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to go on a limb and say it's probably not as good. It didn't feel as good as the primary car, but we were kind of a long ways off when we went out there just to shake it down and get some laps on it. So, you know, starting in the back, we'll we'll definitely tighten up a heck of a lot more than we were planning on doing to start the race, just being in that much traffic, and then just try to work our way through as best we can. And if top 20's it, then that's it. Doesn't matter. Michigan's not a place I'd circled on the list to go win at, so let's just make it through tomorrow and carry on.
All right, congratulations to you both, and thanks for joining
All right,
us.
thank you.